Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Prabhu. Gaurav Prabhu. Sagar Prabhu. Jai. Let's begin. Om Jnanitmandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gatamahim Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Kamalan Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahaganalaliता Sri Vishaka Anvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Disatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्लीज से हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So, welcome to our today's systematic study of Vedic scriptures, part of it Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10. We are understanding the opulences of the Lord, and through that, we also appreciate the greatness of the Lord. And to appreciate someone, very important quality is to understand that we should develop purity so that we can see things as they are, so that we are unbiased in our way of seeing things, and in that process we don't commit mistake, and even more dangerously we don't commit offense. And offenses can be of different degrees, and one who is blaspheming the Lord is also considered as an offense, whether we know it or whether we don't know it. In this process, when we do so, we commit an offense. So we should be understanding this, and at least check ourselves time to time that what propensity, what mentality are we carrying, through which when we are going through these wonderful verses of the Lord, we understand them better. Because the Lord is saying that one who surrenders only to them, the Lord is blessing. Because there is no use if someone doesn't surrender. What is the use of giving everything? So, so we are in this verse number 6. You said still 4 and 5th. Okay, we are in the 4th and 5th verses. By the way, we see the so low participation here mainly because some are attending Bhakta course and some are already present personally here. So online forum looks, yeah, not that big. Huh? Yeah, I'm just checking. We are yet to continue half of it, no? From the part of ahimsa, control of senses is over, no? Asamoha is over, no? Delusion. Satyam, we spoke about it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we will continue. Then I'll just repeat the verse for once and then we will go through it. बुद्धिर्ज्ञानम् असम्मोह क्षमा सत्यम दम सम सुखम दुःखम भव भावो भयम चाभयम एव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिस् तपोदानम यशो यशः भवन्ति भाव भूतानां मत्त एव पृथक् विदाः. The meaning is intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of senses, control of mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. And in that, we spoke few qualities and and we are also trying to understand why did the Lord create good and bad. Hmm? If a man is a thief and if people are warned that he is a thief, that is truth. Yeah, if you remember last week we discussed this. That is the definition of truth. Then we went into the discussion about control of senses. Means that the senses should not be used for unnecessary personal enjoyment. There is no prohibition against meeting the proper needs of the senses, but unnecessary sense enjoyment is detrimental for spiritual advancement. So as soon as when we see restrictions, if there is a restriction imposed on us, because our mind always wants freedom, and not only mind, even our soul, uh, which is a spirit, free spirit, so always wants to be free. And when there are restrictions, limitations, and what do you call a kind of a prison kind of a setup where there is always rules and regulations. Yeah, maybe one day we can follow, 2 days we can follow, 3 days we can follow. But afterwards it becomes very difficult. Either we give up or we fry up because do it, we do it still, but because we don't know why we are doing. So at some stage or the other, we are overdoing and we give up. So in both the cases, there is a very likelihood that if we don't understand the reason why we are doing, then we may give up. So it is very important why when there are restrictions, to understand such restrictions are for our own good. Just like if there is a about when it's about food habits, it is said that we should eat less, but not too less that we don't survive, but we should eat not too much that it makes us more difficult to survive. So in both the ways, yeah, just like a salt, if we add little salt, it may not be sufficient. If we add more salt, it is also not sufficient, yeah, because we don't eat anymore. So in that way, overdose or low dose may not help us. So to have a good feast, how these everything should be in a very proportionate way. That is what we talk about guidelines. Now, when we are cooking, there are these yeah, tips rather than the instructions how to cook. So similarly, in how to cook our life successfully, there are these rules and regulations how to follow. So, so when we talk about prohibition, we should not think that this is not for me. Yeah, as soon as when prohibition is imposed, we think, oh, not for me. I want to live a free life. After all, Lord has given this freedom. And how can someone come and tell that no, you don't do that, you don't do this, you do that only. Uh, you you only eat till 6 o'clock. After 6 o'clock, don't eat or get up at 3 o'clock. Don't sleep longer than. So when we see so many rules and regulations, we should understand the spirit behind it. Venimada Prabhu. Yeah, you can go on mute. Yeah, I know you are cooking. So control of senses, yeah, is not to kind of take power of you. Yeah. So when I'm imposing a sense of control on myself, I am willing to do it. But when someone is telling do this, do that, you think, why should we should do that? Then we have to understand that our spirit of understanding and spirit of acceptance both are in what we call sick. They are in a sick condition because ideally for a spirit, when something good is coming on our way, we should take it. But the thing is, we don't know what is good. That's why we don't take them. But based on the Shastras, we understand what is good, what is bad. Simply we try it, and when we try it, we know the result. Because Shastras are not not kind of a favor is what do you call biased version that because I won't eat, I don't want you also eat. Huh? So nice, right? So then I don't have to cook. I don't have to do that. So because I anyway don't eat, so I put all restrictions also on you. No, it's not like that. The spirit should be very clear, and that is what we see here. There is no prohibition against meeting the proper needs of the senses. So it is not that we totally suffocate ourselves. Just imagine, yeah, when there is no proper air in the room, uh, or no sufficient water, then we feel, oh, it's very difficult when there is no water and proper air. It's very suffocating. So we are not telling to completely shut down all the senses. What we are understanding from this verse is prohibiting to an extent what is not required. So it's now our responsibility to use our intelligence and to also control our senses such a way that we use only for the right purpose. Similarly, one should restrain the mind from unnecessary thoughts. That is called sama. Huh? One should not spend one's time pondering over earning money. I think last week we discussed about this also, right? But then what about now? If there is no money, how can we uh, have everything? Money is very important. It's a liquidity through which everything becomes solidified in our life, right? And without liquid, it's not possible. All our plans which are in the air. So, what are the three states of there is gas, liquid, and solid, na? So this liquid is such an important thing that all our dreams which are flying, right? They can be solidified. So money is needed, yeah, but we have to see how much money is needed. Do we really need too much or less? If there is more money, if we can use it properly, then only we use it. Hmm. I think in this context, I was telling last week about the sword, na? That Indra gave a sword to a rishi, oh, and then this, huh? Dadichi, yeah, and he started cutting everything, chopping everything, and lost his Sukriti. And then the power of thought should be developed in association with persons who are authorities in the scriptures, saintly persons, and spiritual masters, and those who thinking is highly developed. So we think that if someone is telling, hey, don't associate with non-devotees, immediately our mind will come. Why is this differentiation? Uh, Immediately, right? Because uh, I mean, I think we are very, very humanitarian that we want everyone. No, that's not the spirit. We want to find a fault to see, hey, Shastras say that everyone should be seen equally. But as soon as when we say, huh, be careful with the non-devotees, we think, hey, how can you discriminate? So here we are telling about using our thought and intelligence not to associate with everyone, but to associate with right people. I think we anyway do it. Yeah, it's not that we only select people, right, who are good. We don't think that okay, I don't discriminate anyone. I have equality for everyone, and we also go and talk to people who are committing crime. No, we know that it is harmful for us. Just like how we know that it is harmful to play with this mm, weapons, right? Or even in kitchen when we have this knife, we know that we should be very careful to use it. Not that I use the spoon very freely. Let me also use my knife freely. Then we will hurt. So we should really apply discrimination between whom we are associating, because at some level it will affect us only. If we are having bad association, it will definitely affect us. Why? Because one day or the other, we are in a pressure to satisfy others, right? Because Dinesh Prabhu, who is a non-devotee, he is bringing every day one nice cake. And then I also think, oh, so nice, let me also give him something. And he will tell, okay, you know what? Forget about these cakes. There is a big party going on. He will call me. And one time I'll say my wife is not allowing. Two times I'll feel shy. Okay, how can I say this reason? Huh? I'll not even tell to my wife and go with Dinesh Prabhu. Huh? Very simple, right? So I mean, there are so many. I mean, I'm not just exaggerating. These are real life examples. Huh? These are real life examples. How huh? When we think that we can mingle with everyone equally, it is only harmful for us. It is nice to have circle. It is nice. We want everyone to be part of the family. We want everyone to be, but we should also be careful how just like when we are walking on the on what do you call this thread or a pipe, right? Or only one small column. We are very careful. Huh? Even if there is some temptation coming from anywhere, we focus completely that we walk. Yeah, because it's a life and death situation. That's how we should see. Huh? For our own survival, we should be very careful how to very carefully take every step towards our goal. Yeah, this is what here it is said. So, how can we do that? Is to use the phone of friend facility, right? What is that we were telling? To really talk to people whose intelligence or whose thinking is highly developed, and to talk to saintly people and take the shelter of authorities of Shastras. So when we have this Sadhu, Guru and Shastra, with these three when we see, this is called Shastra Chakshusha. Means we don't just use our intelligence on a free way, because yeah, we are not yet so much developed. Our thought, yeah, is still going here and there. We don't have clarity. Should we should we live here? Should we not live here? Should we work here? Should we not work here? Should we eat this? Should we not eat this? So many questions we have. And the more questions we have, we are just bewildered, and we one come to a point that okay, whatever comes to my mind, let me do that. And that's very dangerous. So that's why when we take support of Shastras, at least there is a guarantee that we will not be affected. And then comes the Sukham, pleasure or happiness, should always be in that which is favorable for cultivation of spiritual knowledge of Krishna consciousness. What we think as Sukham, we should repeatedly check, is this really Sukham? How to know that? Is it in lines with the Shastras? When it is in lines with Shastras, it is good. If not, then it's not favorable. And similarly, that which is painful or which causes distress is that which is unfavorable for cultivation of Krishna consciousness. Can some of you tell what is that is very painful? That which is painful or causes distress. Uh, Suritesh Prabhu is saying, yeah, waking up early. Early means can be 8 o'clock also. Waking up itself is difficult. No? What others will tell? Can you say what are some painful situations?
Yes, Prabhuji. Maybe eating too much spicy pickle.
Okay, it's very painful, yeah. While eating or after eating?
Yeah, both.
Both. For Sattvic people, yeah, it's very painful.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Anybada Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sarvatra Varjayet. When the limit is crossed, then whatever it is, it will be difficult. Whether sukham or something. For example, we can eat 2 slices of pizza, but if you want to eat 10 big pizzas, not only 10, 2, then it's very difficult. Not able to digest also. First 2 pieces, you feel very sukham. After that, you will feel disgusting or everything.
My God. That's why I think the spirit of distribution is there. After two, we have to distribute the rest. Yeah, nice. Yeah, but what is more, yeah, distressing and what is painful? Sagar Prabhu, what are some painful situations or distressful situation that, yeah, we see?
Yeah, I mean, departing from friends who we think are bad.
Sorry, say again?
No, I mean, if we have some friends and they are going in the bad direction, departing from them is also painful
Yeah,
if they are our friends.
yeah. So to see that our friends are taking wrong path, that's what you mean, right? Yeah, it's very painful.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Anyone else? What are some painful, distressful? When we lose the dear ones, it's painful. Yeah. Seeing the suffering of our loved ones is distressful, painful. Yeah. What about seeing bad qualities in ourselves? It's painful or changing our bad habits involves a lot of pain. Okay. Seeing what? Yeah. When we know that we have unnecessarily spoken when we don't need to speak, it's painful. Yeah. Uh, when we uh, when we know that we should not do something but we did, it's painful. When we um, deride of God is also painful, but we are not seeing that. So in that way, I mean, anyway, to go on. So if we really analyze what are painful for us, yeah, just we may have to simply take a paper, write them what are really painful for us. We come to real understanding that we care others a lot, and because we care others a lot, we also try to understand what is that we need to do so that we um, we do not harm and we do not want to see them displeased, right? Isn't it? Ultimately, when we see others are suffering, we cannot tolerate. Why? Because that is the nature of the soul. The soul always wants to see that everyone is happy. But what is happening when this filter of mind is coming? Mind is telling, don't do meditation for very long. Act now. Then we will act immediately. But if mind will give us, okay, if we can control the mind with intelligence telling, think properly when you do, then we are more not working on an instinct level, we are working more on an intelligence level. And that is what is here referred that we go through these shastras so that we pick what is favorable for us and we leave what is not favorable for us. Venimada Prabhu, what is that in the nectar of instruction? What are the 6 qualities that are favorable and harmful?
Prabhuji, I don't know, I forgot.
Ah, yeah, you are a temple devotee. I thought you know. Huh?
No, Prabhu.
Yeah. हाँ अत्याहार प्रत्याहारस्य प्रजल्पो niyamagraha janasangascha laulyamscha shabdir bhakti vinasyati. If our devotion we want to screw up, we can encourage these or allow these things. What is that? Eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain. This is what we are also kind of connecting to the same verse in Bhagavad Gita. Talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. Because we know or we want to show that we know something, we keep on talking and talking and talking. That's not encouraged. Practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. So this is one big thing. So when we learn a lot, we want to still apply what is good, how to make it good for me, my happiness, right? Right. So when I know rules, I will use the rules so that I can be happy. Not that the rules are really to understand the Lord. Even if it is difficult, let me follow. No, we use the rules so to avoid services. Then associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, and being greedy for mundane achievements. Greediness, this is what I was saying, these anarthas that are inside us, just to know them itself is painful, and to remove them is even more painful. Uh, it's just like you are in youth. Suryatej Prabhu, imagine yourself, you are in youth and you are in front of the mirror and you see some spots on your face. Now you think, oh, what should I do? Then you apply cream A, B, C, so many creams. Finally, leave it. That is what is visible outside. We are taking so much care. What is inside us, it's even more difficult to handle because the medicines are very dangerous. They have side effects. Yeah, there is a medicine for depression. There is a medicine for anxiety. I don't know if there are medicines for greed. There is medicine for lust. Yeah, there are medicines to develop lust more, not to cure lust more. Yeah. So in that way, we are in a world where the medicine is not that. And being greed. What is the medicine? That is mentioned in the third verse. That's what Varshamati you were saying. Utsaha nishaya dhairyascha tat tat karma pravartanat sangatyaga sato vritte shabdir bhakti prasidyate. So this is saying what are the 6 qualities that are required here? Being enthusiastic. Enthusiastic in not making merries and parties, but to enthusiastic to practice devotion. Second one, endeavoring with confidence. Third one is being patient. If we do not have this patience, then we cannot achieve bhakti, because bhakti is not so cheap that if I do today, tomorrow I get everything. Bhakti needs a huge transformation of our lifestyle, a huge transformation of our thought process, a huge transformation of our association, which is like heavy thing, right? Very painful. As Sagar Prabhu was saying, we have so many friends from our childhood, but they have not the appetite for bhakti. So to see them in that situation or to leave their association is very painful. It's very difficult. Yeah, come on. We have played with them. We have spent our happiness, distress with them, and to see them, they are on one path and we are on the other path, and they are not coming to this path is so painful. But what is the secret is to have patience, to still be friendly with them, and hope for that day when they can come back. Of course, we don't go then to impress them. We don't move away from our path. We are careful. Huh? It's a rescue kit, right? When we give them, it's not like something that we also whatever our pack have, we give that to them. No, there is a technique of how, just like how a seed is planted and everything is growing in a very systematic way, even to bring them into this path, there is a way, and that way, when we apply, then it works. It's not that they will never come. For that reason, we have to leave our path. We can continue our path, but there is a way how to rescue them. Just like I usually give the example of a what do you call a railway crossing. A railway crossing, if you see a tracks are, they are not just like this. Two lines are coming, they join, and then they start leaving. How? Not immediately, because a change of a line should be very smooth. If it just suddenly coming, na, the whole train will go right and then that will fall down. So we are with full speed going in bhakti, they are full speed going in non-bhakti. Totally. And let's see, there may be a point where there is a junction where both thoughts, both things will come. Where, for example, celebrations. Who don't like celebrations? Yes, nice. When the celebration is coming, that junction is coming, then we start giving them prasad because they will not deny it. And when we give them prasadam, then they think, okay, let me take a different track now, different train which is getting more in this direction. Rather going Lucknow, now I want to go towards more, what is it called? Kalyan, yeah, which is more towards the devotion. So in that way, it's a gradual process for every one of us to get onto the right track. It will not happen in one day. Just like a seed cannot become a plant in one day or a tree in one day. It has its own time. But we go on. It's not that we wait for them. And whenever opportunity comes, we try to bring them into this path. And yeah, it may take one year, 10 years, we never know. And all this time, anyway, they are getting closer and closer, knowingly, unknowingly. And the fourth one is acting according to the regulative principles. What are the regulative principles? Very easy for Kali Yuga. Prahlad Maharaj is telling that Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. Just by hearing, chanting, and remembering, this is the process. If at all we want anyone, if we think they are very dear to me, but they are non-devotees, the best thing is conducting programs where Kirtan is happening. Kirtan can do that magic that any number of words cannot do from us. That is the potency of Kirtan because it is going into the heart and it is doing this cleaning process. So this is the process. And then fifth one, again it is said, abandoning the association of non-devotees. What does it mean? It doesn't mean that we don't talk to them. Association means to mingle very, very freely and engaging in those activities is what it means to be associating. It is not that if some non-devotee is calling, then we are closing the door. No, yeah, we also help out them on a human. Yeah, even just like if an animal is in problem, uh, it's not devotee, right? So are we not saving it or not providing facility? We do it. Sixth one, following in the footsteps of previous acharyas. This is the most important thing. Because we have not developed that intelligence through which we can work out our way ourselves, that's why it's always better that what acharya, a guru is teaching us, when we follow that, we are on a safe path. Just like we are in a wild forest. In the wild forest, there are no roots and anything. Or even if we see a root, we thought, oh, this is the route that is going outside the forest, that may go into the lion's den or a cave. So this is what we were seeing, that anything favorable for development of Krishna consciousness should be accepted and anything unfavorable should be rejected. That is what. And then bhava. Bhava means birth, should be understood to refer to the body. As far as the soul is concerned, there is neither birth nor death. That we have discussed in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. First, birth and death apply to one's embodiment in the material world. Now comes very important point, fear. Why is fear in us is due to worrying about future. Just imagine there is very bright future. Huh? Then we will not even see astrology, right? Because anyway there is a guarantee that there is a bright future for me. But because we don't know that, and because our past we have seen so many setbacks, we are always worried. Oh, past kharab hai, kam se kam aage, future is better. So this fear is driven mainly because due to worrying about the future. But a Krishna conscious devotee doesn't worry because he knows that everything is taken care by the Lord. And as far as he himself is concerned, he's in the process, applying the process. He believes and have faith in the process that he is following. A person in Krishna consciousness has no fear because by his activities he is sure to go back to the spiritual sky, back home, back to Godhead. This is all is our dream. This is all is our desire to go back to the spiritual world to serve the Lord. Therefore, his future is very bright by default. When we know, then there is no fear. Others, however, do not know what their future holds. They have no knowledge of what the next life holds. So they are therefore in constant anxiety. If we want to get free from anxiety, then the best course is to understand Krishna and be situated always in Krishna consciousness. In that way, we will be free from all fear. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11:2-37, it is said, Bhayam dvitiyabhi niveshitaha satya shyat. Sorry. Fear is caused by our absorption in illusory energy. So in that way, devotee is not worried. Abhayam. Abhayam means fearlessness. Fearlessness is possible only for one in Krishna consciousness. Why? Otherwise, then he is always carried away because he thinks he is this body, and because body can go through this transformation of um, uh, perishing. Yeah. For example, huh, don't we have a anxiety or a fear that when we are driving, uh, something may happen? That is always there in the mind. Okay, because of so many accidents we have read about, that fear is there. Uh, but when we know, when we follow the rules and regulations and we follow the path, then we are not scared. Just imagine if there are people who are not following rules and regulations, driving there means you have to be ever attentive. Whereas if people are following rules and regulations, you can be little leisure in your driving because you know that okay, everyone is following the rule. Some ahimsa, did we cover that or we didn't cover from there? No. Someone want to read? This was a recap from last class, huh? No, 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 no. No, we read, but we didn't cover everything. Yeah, yeah, you can read. Can you hear? By the way, everyone.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ahimsa non-violence means that one should not do anything which will put others into misery or confusion. Material activities that are promised by so many politicians, sociologists, philanthropists, etc., do not produce very good results because the politicians and philanthropists have no transcendental vision. They do not know what is actually beneficial for human society. Ahimsa means that people should be trained in such a way that the full utilization of the human body can be achieved. The human body is meant for spiritual realization. So any movement or any commissions which do not further that end commit violence on the human body. That which furthers the future spiritual happiness of the people in general is called non-violence. Samatha equanimity refers to freedom from attachment and aversion. To be very much attached or to be very much detached is not the best. The material world should be accepted without attachment or aversion. That which is favorable for prosecuting Krishna consciousness should be accepted. That which is unfavorable should be rejected. That is called samatha equanimity. A person in Krishna consciousness has nothing to reject and nothing to accept save in terms of its usefulness in the prosecution of Krishna consciousness.
Tushti, satisfaction means that one should not be eager to gather more and more material goods by unnecessary activity. One should be satisfied with whatever is obtained by the grace of Supreme Lord. That is called satisfaction. Tapas means austerity or penance. There are many rules and regulations in the Vedas which apply here, like rising early in the morning and taking a bath. Sometimes it is very troublesome to rise early in the morning, but whatever voluntary trouble one may suffer is this way is called penance. Similarly, there are prescriptions for fasting on certain days of the month. One may not be inclined to practice such fasting, but because of his determination to make the advancement in science of Krishna consciousness, he should accept such bodily troubles and when they are recommended. However, one should not fast unnecessarily or against Vedic injunctions. One should not fast for some political purpose that is described in Bhagavad Gita as fasting in ignorance. And anything done in ignorance or passion does not lead to spiritual advancement. Everything done in mode of goodness does advance one. However, and fasting done in terms of Vedic injunctions enriches one in spiritual knowledge. As far as charity is concerned, one should give 50% of his earnings to some good cause. And what is a good cause? Is that which is conducted in terms of Krishna consciousness. That is not only a good cause, but the best cause. Because Krishna is good, his cause is also good. Thus, charity should be given to a person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness. According to the Vedic literature, it is enjoined that charity should be given to Brahmanas. This practice is still followed, although not very nicely in terms of Vedic injunctions. But still, the injunction in the charity should be given to Brahmanas. Why? Because they are engaged in higher cultivation of spiritual knowledge. A Brahmana is supposed to devote his whole life to understanding Brahman. Brahma janatiti Brahmanaha. One Brahma janatiti iti Brahmana. One who knows Brahman is called Brahmana. Thus, charity is offered to Brahmanas because they are always engaged in higher spiritual service and no time to earn their livelihood. In the Vedic literature, charity is also to be awarded to one in the renounced order of life, the sannyasi. The sannyasis beg from door to door, not for money but for missionary purposes. The, the system that they go through from door to awaken the households from slumber of ignorance. Because the householders are engaged in family affairs and have forgotten their actual purpose in life, awakening their Krishna consciousness, it is business of sannyasis to go as beggars to the householders and encourage them to be Krishna conscious. As it is said in Vedas, one should awake and achieve what is due him, in this human form of life. This knowledge and method is distributed by sannyasis. Hence, charity is to be given to renouncer of life, to brahmanas, and similar good causes, not to any whimsical cause.
Yasas, fame, should be according to the Lord Chaitanya, who said that a man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. That is real fame. If one has become a great man in Krishna consciousness and it is known, then he is truly famous. One who does not have such fame is infamous. All these qualities are manifest throughout the universe in human society and in the society of demigods. There are many forms of humanity on other planets, and these qualities are there. Now, for one who wants to advance in Krishna consciousness, Krishna creates all these qualities, but the person develops them himself from within. One who engages in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord develops all the good qualities as arranged by the Supreme Lord. Of whatever we find, good or bad, the origin is Krishna. Nothing can manifest itself in this material world which is not in Krishna. That is knowledge. Although we know that things are differently situated, we should realize that everything flows from Krishna.
So in that way, we understand that the origin of everything is Krishna. And in the last but one para, There is this, all these qualities are manifest through the universe, throughout the universe, in human society and in the society of demigods. So we see that these qualities, good and bad, is also manifesting not only in the human form, but also in the demigods. There are many forms of humanity on other planets, and these qualities are there. Mm. So to give a big picture, to understand, these are all qualities that are existing, not just like on their own, huh? Or this is not a cause and effect model, or this is not an action and reaction model due to which something has happened and something is seen. Mm? But as a consequence, no, but Lord has created everything. But then he's saying one who engages in devotional service of the Supreme Lord develop all the good qualities. So we cannot blame the Lord now, because Lord has created. Why should He create in first place? Because there are also non-devotees who want other kind of qualities. So it's not that okay. We see that, hey, after all, animal killing is practice, so we can also engage in that. Why? Because it was also, yeah, we see that it's possible. Yeah, and no, here we see that the qualities are there. What we pick makes that. Yeah, just like what seed we put in the soil, that tree is going to come. We cannot expect an apple from a mango tree. So, what qualities we imbibe, so we are. Yeah, what does it say? I mean, there you are that what you. Yeah, yeah, that's why you say mind is index. Huh? No, I is index of mind. This is one saying, and the mind is a master of the being. Yeah. So why? Because through these we are developing. Why? Because what we see clearly, we select them and apply that to the mind, and mind is processing and giving it. In that way, um, uh, we have this mechanism through which we can digest both the bad things and good things, but the results are different. Yeah. So which means we can eat sweets and also non-sweets, and both have its effects, and that is going to create. So that's why we should be selective in finding what are good things based on the scriptures and apply them in our life. Anyone want to add anything? Anyway, we'll stop this at this verse. Yeah. Anyone want to share anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
I have this question. We say that Krishna is the source of everything. Yeah, good habits or bad habits, everything
Hmm.
comes from Krishna. And we also know that Krishna is all pure. There's nothing bad in Krishna. So how
Hmm.
do we understand that, like a like a bad habit, for example, meat eating?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's also a bad habit, or any other bad quality. So how do we understand that it came from Krishna? I mean, when Krishna is all pure, how does it originate from Krishna?
Yeah. So it is something that the governments are creating the prison houses, right? The government is not interested in them, but it's just creating them. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Your question is like, if Krishna wouldn't have enjoyed the bad things, why did he create? Hmm?
Yeah, or maybe when Krishna is all pure, then how does it yeah, come from Krishna? When somebody is all pure, then
Yeah.
how does, yeah?
Yeah, because of the nature. Yeah, because of this nature where these qualities are being manifested, so it will have the what do you call, dual qualities in the material world. So it's something like um, arranging something, both, yeah, for good and bad. And how do we know a bad which is not that is a bad? So for that you don't have experience. You don't have to experience. If you lead a good lifestyle, this is what is the result. And if you don't do it, the bad. So for that, Lord is anyway still the pure because he is not influenced by this. Lord is saying that I have created it because people wanted it. What people wanted it, Lord very well knows, right? That is what we are calling. We are tagging it as bad.
Okay. So Krishna created for the people.
Yeah,
He knew that the people wanted, but
yeah,
he doesn't. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because it is the desire of the beings who wanted that, and what is that is this, and this is what is called bad.
Yes, Babaji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yeah. Yeah, Dinesh Prabhu is referring to this, right? Lord has perfectly created this imperfect world. Yep. Gaurav Prabhu? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But he wanted to know how did he know that to create other things? Gaurav Prabhu, you have a question? Fine. Anything else? Anyone want to add? Any Mother Prabhu, Apu Prabhu, Sagar Prabhu, Sindhu Mataji, I saw that you have also joined.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Any questions or anything you want to add?
No, Prabhu, it's clear.
It's clear. You have a question? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Suryatesh Prabhu's question is how to identify a Brahmana, right? It's not so easy because where in which age we are is we consider by birth someone is already a Brahman. Yeah. And yeah, at least there is little probability that they are real Brahmanas. Hmm. But then what kind of lifestyle they follow? That gives us, are they still very much interested in material things? Because if huh? Huh? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's possible everywhere to find, but we need to know what are the qualities of Brahmanas first.
क्षमो दम तपः शौचम क्षांतिर आर्जमेय वच.
Yeah. So those are the qualities of a Brahman. And Yajan, Patan, Patan. Yeah. So what is his business? Also helps us to understand who is a Brahman. So a Brahman is not too much interested in how to accumulate gold, wealth, and all those things. A Brahmin is more interested to lead a life of understanding the Supreme because it is our second chance. That's why I don't know if you have seen this Prabhupada book, which is titled The Second Chance, where Ajamila pastime is described. Uh, it is our second chance now that at least now we rectify our faults, mistakes, and everything and go back to the original origin from where we came. So in the second chance, if a Brahmin is more serious. Why? Because he has the knowledge, he has access to the scriptures. When he has access to the scriptures and still not doing, so he's not a Brahman. He's called not Dvija, he's called Dvija Bandhu, which means he is a Brahman, but not a real Brahmin. Means he is just a family point of view. He is a friend of a Brahmin or a relative of a Brahmin in that way. But a true Brahmin is the one who has this, yeah, who is living, who understands that this material world is suffering place, who understands that the purpose is here to self-realize ourselves, and and through engaging in the process of devotion. But now your question, in 1 hour, how do I know? Because yeah, okay, because these qualities are, we can, they don't have a tag, right? I have this, I have this, I have this. That is why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying, right, you approach sadhus, you serve them, you ask them questions. When you ask the questions, if he is in a position to answer your questions, huh? And then you can understand, oh, by service and this inquiry, you're advancing. Then he is a sadhu, he is a Brahman. Hmm? So it's not a 1 hour job. Yeah, it really means a lot. And and then of course, I think in one of previous occasions, Apu Prabhu was saying, still, if someone is born in a Brahmin family, he should still be respected as a Brahmin. But when we are definitely serving, we should understand that, okay, we find the right Brahmin who we can go and not just donate. Yeah, it's not to clean our own sins or to clean our own offenses, whatever we have done. That is not the thing. For that, we can have find other options also. Yeah, we can do go seva, because a cow is not going to preach you. There is no risk. Yeah, yeah. But rather, if you go to a Dvija Bandhu, a so-called Brahman, the so-called Brahman will engage you in material activities, then it will affect you only. Yeah, where Pujari is there. If he is more interested for his own benefit, how can he benefit you? Hmm? So, but if that Brahman is interested in your benefit, huh, he will engage whatever you are giving only for your benefit. It's not like, I don't know. There are so many temples in India where someone is. I have seen some a document where it say, um, it is, I don't know in which Lord Shiva's temple, or in not in Puri, in Triambake, I don't know. The priest simply took the hand of the mother and he put it on the shivling, and he said, if you don't please me, the pujari, not, then something bad will happen to your child. You have to give donations. This is what is Shastras telling. So using the Shastras, what is he doing? He is demanding. Whereas Lord himself is not demanding. Lord is telling what to be done at your free will. Uh, Not to be miser, nevertheless, whatever you are earning should be used for the right purpose. But at the same time, he is not demanding that you should give, you should give. It's a should come from the heart. But here, what the poor mother will do, out of fear, she says, "Okay, jo bhi hai, de diya." So, in this are so many examples are there. So they are priests in the temples. In which way? Because they have rigorously studied everything and they have come to a qualification they can become pujaris, or it could also be because of family tradition that one after the other they are taking the positions. But when these qualities of a Brahman are there, that's helpful, that they think welfare of others. For example, when the time is up for the altar to close, if someone is coming, yeah, if you want to open the door for his benefit, or if you want to open the door for your benefit, that decides whether you are a Brahmin or not a Brahmin. Hmm? There are so many who just open, they see that, yeah, see how nice, there is someone who is running to come to have darshan of the Lord. Whoa, even if it gets 5 minutes late for me, that's okay. But such a blessing. So he's a Brahmin. So one who has developed, so it's not just like, And that's why we see that, okay, how, which school of religion or which school is teaching them these values. For example, when we were in Udupi, we saw that the Acharyas are teaching these basic principles in addition to the Vedas. It's not that, okay, they are not teaching the Vedas. They are also teaching this, how to understand the Vedas and apply in real life so that the Lord is pleased. Yes. And in that way, there are so many. In Mayapur also, there are these where the students are not only taught Vedas. It's not a cool thing to sit on an elephant and to go in a procession and do all. They are rigorously trained when to get up early in the morning, when to take bath, not in a hot water shower, but in the river water, in the Ganges. And in that way, they are very rigorously trained so that they understand that this body, whatever we think that we need to give comfort, initial stage itself, we know how much to give. That training will help us understand that. Then, if someone is coming, I want to give you that, I want to give you this, not interested because they know that these things are not. So that training is given along with not only reciting, because there are also who undergo a curriculum called Vedam, yeah, and then they learn Chandas and learn Purusha Sukta, Sri Sukta, and then they are qualified to do what do you call marriages or all sanskaras and all those things, or shrads and all. It's very nice, yeah. They learn, but when I mean I have personally asked few where to explain what is the meaning, they say we don't know. Of course, it's a matter of time. Yeah, when they really get this thought, okay, I also need to know this, they will become perfect. Huh? So we should not consider them, oh, they are not Brahmanas at all, so we don't respect them at all. No, we respect them because at least they have learnt, and it is a matter of time to give life to that learning. And as soon as that life is added to this, then he is a perfect Brahman. Yeah. So yeah, we have to, and we see how um, this wherever, I mean, even there are some other examples in Andhra Pradesh also. There is one who said we are teaching Vedam for also people who are not Brahmins by birth. Why? Because it is not exclusive to the people who are by birth only Brahmins. Yeah, because just like in Germany, we have a school which is a Grundschule where all the kids are sent to into the same school. But later, what happens based on their interest, they either go into doctor, they go into engineering on different schools. So this was also the Gurukul system, that the Gurukul was the base for everyone to acquire basic knowledge. Meanwhile, the Guru is seeing who is good in this, who is good in this, and then he is engaging them in that. And in that process, what is happening? Doesn't matter by birth who is who. In the end, when they come out of the school, huh? What is it called? The post graduation celebration, Samavrata Upa nine or something like that. This is also one sanskar, yeah, through which they say, hey, now you are qualified Brahman, now you are qualified Kshatriya, you are qualified that. In that way, that qualifications are achieved by engaging in that. That systems are coming, reviving, because people are really fed up by exploitation of so-called Brahmanas or so-called Kshatriyas or so-called Vaishyas. All are claiming that we are that, we are this, but ultimately not doing the best of it. Okay. Yes. Then thank
Hare
you very
Krishna
much.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, Gaurav Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji. Are you able to hear now?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. It was on the same line. My question was that which you answered. I had some additional also question that in India we many times see some temples pujari they chew tobacco or something
Mm-hmm.
things,
Mm-hmm.
and should we still respect because they are situated in that auspicious position to serve Lord, even though we feel from inside that this is not the good
Yeah, a
sign.
Vaishnava gives all respect to, yeah, even a blade of grass, right? to everyone.
Mhm.
So respect, we never should compromise that. And when it comes to following, yeah, we should still, nevertheless, yeah, we should follow what is right. Who is giving that right understanding, we follow them. Just like in the case of Yudhishthir Maharaj, he we know Dhritarashtra, who was so cruel that he arranged all, I mean, plans facilitated for that war. And when the time came, yeah, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he embraced, or when Dhritarashtra embraced Yudhishthir Maharaj, then he was saying that, yeah, thank you so much. I learned a lot from you. So he was still respecting, and in spite of all, yeah, he was ill-treating his own when Dhritarashtra was ill-treating, right, Kunti, because rightfully she should become the queen, right? uh,
Mhm.
or mother of Yudhishthir, who is the king. But after when he got back the kingdom, still he allowed Dhritarashtra and who is his mother, Gandhari, yeah, to stay with them.
Mhm.
It's not because he has chewed tobacco. No, he should not be here. No,
Mhm. So we
he
should
allowed.
still respect as a
Still
Brahmana
respect.
him.
Yeah, we should still respect as a Brahmana. Yeah. And but as I said, there is still a differentiation which is making them or a distinction. It is just like a hospital, right? The doctors are there. Some are expert doctors, some are, yeah, not yet expert doctors, but still he is also a doctor.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he may know at least how to give an injection.
Mhm.
He may not know how to operate, but
Mhm.
yeah, he is also a doctor.
Mhm.
And
And
it's a matter
Prabhuji,
of
I
time.
also somebody also told me that Lord also enjoys sometime such habit. Is it
You
what
mean chewing
you?
tobacco?
I mean, yes, they say that Lord has in this position at such a nice position. Lord, you sometimes also enjoy that the devotee gets this freedom or some yes what you say the Lord also yes sometimes take enjoyment from this behavior of the devotee.
Oh, this is first time I'm hearing. Who said that?
It's one of my
I
friend.
I know that in Shaivites there is that in the North India there is this followers who drink ganja because Lord Shiva could do that, yeah, and he gets into a trance, and that's why they also are trying. One day they can get a trance, but they're getting intoxicated and just fall. So that is an understanding which is not rightly understood and practiced.
Mhm.
Yeah. So in that way, if someone is doing that, or even if there is this Kali Ma temple, right,
Mhm.
in Calcutta, they also, I heard the pujaris also eat meat. Uh, Bali is anyway authorized, but they also eat meat. That is not authorized for Brahmanas. Yeah, wine. Yeah.
Mhm.
So these are different levels of worships. At least Krishna is not speaking about that.
Mhm. But Prabhuji, this meat eating, can this be treated as level of Brahmana, such pujari? Or
Um, the spirit is right. What they eat is wrong. Yeah, the spirit is what? To take prasad. But because Kali is not happy by Bali, but from tantric understanding to get a favor, such a Bali is authorized. So pujaris do that, but it gets more at a sense gratification level. Yeah. So the pujaris also engage in that eating. So in that way, we see that okay, what level of consciousness that they can maintain.
Mhm. Okay, Prabhuji.
Yeah. I think you know this, right? Even this in the scriptures, there is this Bali, sacrificing animal was authorized. Why was that done is not only for a benefit itself for the people, but also benefit for the animal. The animal was not a very juicy calf that was given bali, but a cow that barely can maintain its body was killed. And because the one who was doing that sacrifice was very well qualified, that after the bali was given, immediately there was a new cow. For example, if a cow was cut, right, immediately a cow used to appear after the sacrifice, so that this cow can again engage. So that things are not possible anymore, but the appetite, right, because we are so much engrossed in sense gratification, so we take what is good for us rather than what is really good for our soul. So we don't have qualified brahmanas who can really do that. There is also Tantra Vidya that says that if you give Bali, then on so and so Amavasya, then you can become a leader uh, mm, for sure. So all this is called Karma Kanda. Yeah, we don't want to involve anywhere in the Karma Kanda.
Mhm. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. 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 On I mean, what Dinesh Prabhu is adding is that by all these activities of killing animals and intoxicating, all these go more in the line of mode of ignorance, tamas. Yeah, and from these activities, one would like to satisfy the Lord. Yeah, which is karma kanda is telling, okay, yeah, by this so and so grama devata, right? I don't know what is it called. uh, um, this is also you can, I will share a book which is called Faith, and in that there is a mention about the 5 ways of worship through which one can based on one's faith, one can engage in 5 kinds of worships, which is called panchopasana, and each of which what one can achieve in that, whatever we are discussing about the sacrifice and all those things, right, are in a very primitive level of worship. Yeah, whereas because we through I mean, if it was, if there was no Chaitanya Mahaprabhu movement, then it would have been different story. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu movement made it so easy that one can even uh, get at a level of worship, at a level of mode of goodness, irrespective of birth, uh, irrespective of place, and irrespective of caste and creed, gender, no discrimination, and can achieve the topmost result. So we don't have to start from some lower levels. We can straight away take away what is sublime and most powerful. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hare
Did it also answer your question? Okay. Then thank you very much. Let's see us next week. पञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यः च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes.